In this video, I'm going to explain how to find your calorie count. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what to do and how to do it. It is not complicated. There's so many videos on the internet making it extremely complicated, but it's not. So, what we want to do is we want to be in a caloric deficit. A caloric deficit is when you give your body less calories than it needs to function. Why is that? And it's because stored fat is extra calories. It's excessive energy. And when we eat and consume more calories than our body needs, that calories that the body doesn't burn off, it gets stored as fat. And that's why fat is just a accumulation of excess energy. So what we want to do is we want to be in a caloric deficit, meaning we want to give our bodies less calories than it needs. So if my body on average needs 2,000 calories to function, if I give my body 1,500 calories, what's going to happen is now that extra 500 calories that my body needs is going to go and get it from the fat on my body and is going to burn off the fat using the fat as fuel for energy. It's that simple. So, how do we do this? Now, first, what we need to do is we need to find our weight. We need to find exactly how much we weigh. So, what and how to do this is you want to weigh yourself for 7 days in a row. 7 days in a row. Why? And it's because we can get a more accurate reading of how much we weigh this way. Because some days we're going to be bloated, means that we retain more water and we're going to be more heavier. And then some days we're going to be more drier and hold less water. So for those days, for those outlier days, for when you're the heaviest, and then the days where you are the lightest, you want to X those out. And then the middle days, right? The days where you're in the middle, that's a consistent number that we want to judge of how much we weigh because that's the most accurate. And I'll put it up on the screen so you can see for yourself. So now, when we have that number, this is the most probably difficult part to explain because we want to times that number between 9 and 12. And why do we want to times this number between 9 and 12? A good estimate of calories to burn when you want to lose weight is between 9 calories per pound of body weight and 12 calories per pound of body weight. And this is a scientifically proven fact, and this is what I've done to get in shape and get lean. And I'm going to explain how. So now the number you want to pick is based off of how active you are. And to judge how active you are is more of a tricky thing because somebody can say, "Yeah, I'm active because I go to the gym 5 days a week." But if that person is lifting weights, a person that is doing cardio 3 days a week is more active than a person that's lifting weights 5 days a week because lifting weights in the gym on an average of 1 hour burns like 300 calories. But doing cardio for an hour, I could burn 800 calories doing cardio. So it's not about how many days. We want to judge how active we are during the week to how much calories that we burn. And I'm going to break it down in this section. So in this section, I'm going to help you guys determine what number you should times your body weight by so you can get the accurate or around the ballpark amount of calories that you guys should be consuming each day. So now when it comes to 9 calories per pound of body weight that you time your weight by, this is little to no activity. This person doesn't go to the gym at all. This person doesn't have any hobbies, doesn't play any sports. The person's job is not demanding of them to be active as far as it's a computer job. They sit down all day. But the thing about this is when you times your body weight by 9, the less amount of calories on this scale, now your diet isn't as flexible because you're eating less calories. Because the person that eats more calories is going to be able to eat more and more better foods. So now I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't recommend 9 at all. I wouldn't recommend it. It's very extreme and you're gonna be hungry all the time. And it's just not a fun experience to be on a diet. Because taking consideration too, you want to make this a lifestyle as well. You don't want to make it a lifestyle of you being hungry all the time and and just lethargic, less energy is not a good life to live. So now 10 to 11 calories per pound of body weight that you times your weight by. This is moderately active. This is somebody that goes to the gym 2 to 4 days a week, but mainly lifts weights, probably does like a little bit of cardio, has an occupation that is not that active, is probably active, but it's not that active. Maybe like a sales associate, or probably like customer service, somebody that is getting up, walking around, but coming back to the desk. Just a job you're going to just imagine and just put your job in this situation as far as like of defining it to be active. Because again, job, just because we're not in the gym doesn't mean we're active. We're not active and we're not burning calories. Like I said. So now 10 to 11 is 2 to 4 days a week, weightlifting, little cardio. Now, 12 calories is somebody that is pretty active. I mean, 2 to 4 days plus week, but mainly cardio. Probably goes for long walks, played sports, the boxes, just is very active. And like I said earlier, we want to judge how active we are to the amount of calories that we burn. Because if you look here, this is 2 to 4 days and this is 2 to 4 days, but this 2 to 4 days is very active depending on what they're doing. If this, because again, to reiterate, just because a person is going to the gym 2 to 4 days, but if they're lifting weights burns less calories than cardio. So to times your calorie count by 12 is a person that's really doing the mixture of both, that lifts weights, but also is doing cardio just as evenly. So in my opinion, most people are going to lie around here to start, because all this is a ballpark. So I suggest you time your number by probably like 10 to 11, just to get in the ballpark and the range to start eating, and then you'll adjust from there, like I'm about to explain in this next session. So in this part, we're going to do a little bit of math, nothing too crazy. I'm going to do my numbers and you just follow along as you do your numbers. So now I am 195 pounds, right? And then I've timed it by 12 because I'm very active. And that equals 2,340 calories per day. So now what do we do with this number? So now every day you guys want to, depending on what you times, how much you weigh, and then how active you are, and then what you times, and then you get your calorie count. For the next 2 weeks, you want to eat this much calories. And over the course of weeks, you want to weigh yourself every day. And when you weigh yourself every day, you want to make sure that you're trending down, because this is all an estimate. Nobody can really look at you and tell you exactly how much calories that you're supposed to eat. Nobody in this world. But this is a pretty damn good start. So over the course of 2 weeks, you want to track yourself every day and you want to make sure you're trending down. And over the course of 7 days, you don't want to lose any more than 1% of your body weight. You don't want to lose anything more than that. And that's because anything more than 1% is too fast. And now you're losing muscle in the process. You're naturally going to lose muscle, but you want to minimize the damage as much as possible. And science says, right? I'm not a science guy, but through research and me doing it myself and implementing it on people, that this is a pretty good damn number to go off of. So by the time you get to your goal, you have the maximum amount of muscle, you retain the maximum amount of muscle, and you lost weight in the process. So over the course of 2 weeks, you want to track your calories. I suggest you use a calorie tracker like MyFitnessPal or other calorie trackers out there, and really track your food. Really track your food. And over the course of 2 weeks, you're going to make sure you're trending down. And over the course of 7 days, those 7 days, you're going to make sure that you're not losing any more than 1% of your body weight per week. And honestly, it's pretty damn that simple. And also I want to implement too, this, I can't make one video and serve everybody. Everybody's different. Everybody's metabolism is different. So this information in this video is just to really get you started into losing weight. It's going to be other things along the way that you're probably going to have to understand and overcoming, like plateauing, or how can you may have, I'm not too sure what it's going to be because I can't explain it because it's unique to everybody's situation. But this information in this video is just going to put you in a ballpark, and it's going to get you going and started so you can make changes within your life. Now, also, I want to implement two. This is going to be a two-part video. So the first video is going to be how to find your calories and how to make sure that you're on track to what you're eating. And the second video is going to be based on macros, and I'm going to explain everything on macros, what they are, why they're important, and how to find them. So now your body could look the the best it's ever been.